Welcome to my rookie guide for Oran Park South configuration in the Mazda MX5 on iRacing. First I'll show you a silent lap for you to watch in peace, then I'll highlight some of the more important features that you should focus on to help you get this track right. Check out Turn Racing afterwards. They produce numerous sim racing accessories including the R320 real rim that I use. Link is in the description down below. Understanding of trail braking will have a big impact on how challenging the track is and how fast you're going to get around it. But I've got a guide on trail braking which is very approachable and easy to digest, so if you haven't seen that yet, then check it out at the end. So let's break down the important bits. For turn 1, your braking point should be just before the point at which the wall on the right hand side goes from white to green. In fact, that marker should be the latest at which you start braking. Whilst braking fairly hard, give the car the gentlest of nudges to the left to get the car leaning over and curling into the turn as well. Nothing too sudden is needed. And try and settle the car into what looks like the middle lane of the corner as you cool the speed down by trail braking. Turn 1 is a late apex corner, meaning it's ideal to hit the apex later into the corner than it feels natural to do. So this empty track on your left hand side right now is like your monthly salary. Don't spend it all at once too early in the corner by rushing towards the inside line. Be patient. When you feel like you are halfway through the corner, now you pounce. Twist the steering wheel to swoop into the corner apex and start powering out. Your clipping point, the point at which your car skims the corner apex, should be where this painted white line suddenly goes from worn out to freshly painted. And keep tight on the exit, don't use all of the track on the right hand side, stay in the middle or on the inside, ready for turn 2 coming up immediately after. For turn 2, the striped curb on the left is a good marker for turning in, but notice how my turn in is also accompanied with a lifting of the throttle. This helps push the nose into the corner when the track suddenly falls away underneath. My target for turn 2 is to have the car straddled over the curbing and white concrete infill, which chops the corner quite a bit. The car's already turning, so this is simply about timing, and when I feel like the car's going to make it, I get back onto full power. Chopping turn 2 means that turn 3 becomes a much easier corner and you can keep a lot of momentum. But if you find yourself with a tyre on the grass here, then calm it down a bit as the upcoming crest will make any instability going into it worse. Gently breathe off the throttle and bring things under control. Don't be tempted to attack turn 3 hard to compensate for a slightly bodged turn 2. As you approach the crest of a hill coming out of turn 3, make sure you do the majority of changing direction before you go over the top of it, so that the car is not cornering hard when it jumps over. Otherwise, if you go over the hill and you're a little bit loose, the sudden drop afterwards will make sure of it. The curb on the entry to turn 4 is a good marker for turning in, and as you approach it, the track goes from a dip to a climb, squashing the car down, which will give you added grip and confidence. Use the end of the striped curb as a reference point for shooting into the corner, but your eyes need to be here rather than looking at the curb. The inside curb of turn 4 can be chopped quite a lot and it makes the corner easier if you do, so always try to skim that concrete infill with your inside tyres. I can see I'm going to hit that target, so I can punch the power down knowing that the exit of the corner is pretty spacious. When you know you're going to hit that target, get the throttle down. After turn 4 we need to smoothly but swiftly switch to the other side of the track to set ourselves up most comfortably for turns 5 and 6. So don't straighten up after turn 4, swoop the car over to the left hand side so we can take aim for the next one. Turns 5 and 6 are made much easier by being straightened up and aimed in line with a concrete strip on the turn 5 curb before you actually get there. The most important thing is to make sure that you change from a slight right to a slight left before you go over the hill. When you do this, turn 5 doesn't really exist, it's merely an entry curb and clipping point before turn 6, which is blind. Because we entered turn 5 with the car settled, all you have to worry about for turn 6 is coming over the hill and spotting the curb and aiming for it, with an unstressed and chilled out car ready to react if you need it to. You can chop the turn 6 curb, but I would advise not making that your aim, as it's difficult to do reliably without a line of sight and you're asking for a slowdown or causing instability on exit, which you definitely won't want. Turn 6 might be blind, but the final turn 7 is a mirage. Use trail braking to help curve into the turn and resist getting on the power until you have comfortably reached the corner apex. Whenever you think you're good to start accelerating, wait one more second. Resist the temptation to add more steering if you think you're heading for the wall, it makes things worse. Video about that also worth checking out. You know, a second ago I said don't put power down until you know you won't have to lift? In this example I did it a shade too early. I felt a sense that I might be heading for a scrape with the wall and lifted off the throttle just a smidge. This is the correct thing to do, the only problem is that it steals a tiny bit of speed for the main straight. And we're back where we began. In terms of overtaking, your best chance will be coming out of the final turn, whereby if you nail the last turn and the car in front of you doesn't, you may have a speed advantage on the main straight. If you get a run on the car in front, take the middle or inside line of the track and hope the other car takes the hint and concedes the first turn. If you hit your lines well, this track and car combo feels like gliding. Very little violence or sudden movements in the steering are needed. I hope this was helpful, but feel free to comment with any questions, give a like and subscribe, and if you're new to the game then definitely check out my guides as there's a lot for you. Check out Turn Racing via the link in the description and you'll find links to our Discord and all sorts there too. Happy racing!